truth word. You don't need a halo to know where to go. Unite in the fight, and it's the best for sure. If you don't believe me, watch this video. It's truth with every word. It's all truth word.
Hello and welcome back to Old Truthford, the home of honestly biased sports content. Tonight we are going to be covering the latest and greatest Manchester United news, including Semenyo close to joining Manchester United. The decision does appear to be up to him right now. Man United have made their interest very clear. And also Kobbie Mainoo showing a desire to go to Napoli. But plenty more. So please stay tuned as we go through the latest and greatest right here on the Old Truthford YouTube channel. Edvin, let's read out your comments because I know you have been waiting a while. Sorry, man. Just as a side acknowledgement, the first time I was in one of your lives was for the Europa final. Sweet Jesus. After that, I was so disappointed I stopped checking in to any football all summer. Better times ahead. Mate, I honestly, I've blanked that game out from my memory. Like, I could not remember a single thing that happened on that live stream. It's like a traumatic event where your memory either improves drastically and you remember it like it was yesterday, or you just blank it out of it. So I've really just I've tried to blank out the memory of that final, so hopefully better times ahead. Yeah. I'd become so invested in United and football in general last year that game made me realize I needed a break. This year, I feel like I have a more level-headed approach. That being said, I'm quietly confident this year. Don't buy into all the Amorim outers thus far. A quick manager bounce, fine, but breaking the blocks one by one to build a new foundation takes a lot. So respect Ruben. Amen, Edvin. I think, I'm not gonna lie, people's outlooks on Manchester United purely depends on, well, not purely, but I think it heavily depends on the content creators they watch. Like, I think it purely depends on the content creators they watch, because you can watch some YouTube channels and you can think that, Manchester United have been in crisis for like 7 years, which, I mean, to some degree we have, but at certain points we've seen a lot of positives. We've seen Solskjaer build or try and build a new era. We've seen Ten Hag destroy this football club one transfer at a time. So yeah, it's an interesting one, really. I do think that it is good to take a step away from Manchester United. I mean, it does really affect your psyche sometimes. Calum, hey, how quickly Jake knocked out tonight? I'm going 2 minutes. I'm going 2 minutes into the fight. Jake Paul gets knocked out. I think unless Anthony Joshua wants it to like go on, he could make it go on a bit longer. Like he could want to put on a show and make sure people get their money's worth, like the half empty or half full rather stadium that's there. But yeah, no. Even if Jake Paul's running, like Anthony Joshua could still knock him out with a body punch. Like it's really not that hard. I don't think Jake is that elusive, but he'll be able to hide from Anthony Joshua for 3 minutes in a confined space. So yeah, I've got Joshua 100%. I'm saying 2 minutes, Calum. You think start of the second round? Edvin, when I said Amorim outers, I didn't necessarily mean that someone said explicitly Amorim out and no alternative. I just feel that we need to have more patience given the dross of the past decade or so. Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. I think the fact that Ruben Amorim's only been here just over a year, it is insane to me. It does blow my mind how many people have turned their backs on him. But let's go through the latest transfer news, folks. So starting off with Mr. Scott McTominay. I mean, love him or hate him, I think people do see Scott McTominay in a bit more of a positive light now that he has left the club and obviously gone on to win Serie A Player of the Year, been in the top, 20, 25 for the Ballon d'Or. A lot of people see him very differently, but yeah, this is what Scott McTominay had to say when asked if players who leave Manchester United get better. This is what he had to say. I disagree. It's too easy of an excuse. I think it's too easy to say that. Whenever I was there, they helped me with everything, tactically, training, nutrition. Everything is there for you to succeed. It's not like they don't give you certain things that other clubs, can I speak? That other clubs do. Just having a stroke. It's a myth because the spotlight is directly on you. It makes it seem a lot worse. In my last year, I did well, scored 10 goals, and we won a trophy. So, I mean, it would have been so easy. You know other United players who left Manchester United. That's a softball just thrown out there by, I think it was Kate Abdo who was interviewing him. But that's just a softball thrown out there so that they can get their clicks for Scott McTominay to say, yep, it was all down to the club, and now that I'm in a different club, look how good I am. I knew it was the club's fault, it wasn't mine. But and we know that a few players would say that, like, I don't know, Rashford, Anthony blames pretty much everything when it comes to like the weather, the coach. I mean, I don't know, Anthony blames a lot. Whereas Scott McTominay, this is why so many managers picked him. I mean, he's not willing to throw the club under the bus, ultimate professional. And yeah, I've got a feeling, guys, maybe later on in his career, who knows? I've got a sneaky suspicion that like Scott McTominay would come back to Manchester United. I don't know. I've got that feeling that Scott McTominay would come back, and I hope he does in a way. Maybe later on in his career when he's achieved a bit more and he's happy with being like a squad player maybe at United, or who knows, even in the starting side. But I don't know. I don't think this is the last we'll hear from Scott McTominay when it comes to Manchester United. Should judge a manager by end of second/start of third season. Even then, I think it's too early, Caleb. I mean, I've said since the beginning, I'm giving Amorim like 4 or 5 years, because the cycle that we've had so far is that we get to the third season with a manager, and then they completely capitulate because the players like either bottle it because of the expectation that's suddenly put on them of like, oh, okay, we need to actually start winning games, and then we just decide to get rid of the manager, and then we've got to repeat a whole new rebuild with a whole new different style and all of this sort of stuff. I'm just praying that Sir Jim actually sticks to his words and he gives Amorim 5 years at the club, because we're already seeing improvements. There's a lot of different factors that can come into play with Manchester United and with football in general. I mean, like, we've seen how we've got one of the best attacks in the league, but a bunch of defensive errors and individual mistakes, and boom, we're only 5th. So I mean, it's one of those. Scott's last 18 months was such an improvement, unlike the pivot days with Fred and Ole. Yeah, I know. We sold him at a high, didn't we? We didn't decide to sell him at a low. We sold him when like he was actually doing really well for the club. And I remember it was against Brentford, wasn't it, with Ten Hag, where like he comes on and then we're 1-0 down and then we're 2-1 up. And he came on a bunch of times from the bench as well, which, look at this season. I don't think any of the players from the bench have scored a goal or got an assist or anything like that. So we're really missing Scott McTominay. Well, obviously, if there is the clear idea and there's a lot of progress being made, you give him more. But then you could say under Ole, there was a lot of progress being made. I mean, like, he got us up to 2nd in the league. And then we have a few hiccups at the start of the season, and everyone's being so vocal about bloody Donny van der Beek. And then, and then boom, like, Solskjaer's out of a job. And you've got like the biggest United channels on YouTube saying like, oh yeah, he's a PE teacher and blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, come on, man. Come on. But yeah, shout out to Scott McTominay. Matthijs de Ligt and Harry Maguire are not expected to return from injury in time for the Aston Villa game. Both of them, I think, are suspected to return towards the end of the month, so I think we're going to be missing them against Aston Villa. And who are we playing? Who are we playing against after Aston Villa? Newcastle. Yeah, I doubt they're going to be available for Newcastle either. Ruben Amorim does not see Kobbie Mainoo as a natural number 6 and has been reluctant to use him in a midfield 2, believing he is better suited to a midfield 3. I mean, I've said it on Instagram, I've said it on Twitter. I think Kobbie Mainoo, the comparisons between him and Pogba are eerily similar. I mean, let me see what I said. And let's see if you guys agree. Because I think the similarities between Pogba and Mainoo aren't just in the type of player, but in terms of their career path as well. It's eerily similar. So this is what I posted. I posted saying Mainoo was frequently compared to Pogba when he broke through. The funny thing is, there's a few parallels between the two's careers. Academy graduates, naturally left central midfielders, asked to play deeper at United. Pogba left the club at 19 to go to Juventus, obviously, and Kobbie is now going to be leaving the club at 20 years old, both leaving to Italian clubs. History repeats itself. What do you guys think? We actually need De Ligt or Maguire back for some leadership. Hopefully Martinez will actually start the next game, because we've seen him off the bench, but can we actually see a Martinez start for once? Backline is too youthful, no experience. Yep. Well, it's too youthful, or it's made up of fullbacks. So, like, people are shocked why we've got such a bad defense when we've got a fullback, another fullback when we had Mazraoui, and a 19-year-old in the middle. Like, of course they're going to make mistakes. Not enough respect is given to the acquisitions we made last summer. Admin, give me a better window over the last 5 to 10 years. Nope, there is not one. There's not one better window than the last window. Literally say the same with the summer. If you said that at the start of summer, everyone would have said it was 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10. And this is why I'm so confident that Ruben Amorim is going to be a success at United as well. If you haven't checked it out already, guys, posted a video going through 5 reasons why we should trust or we should believe in Ruben Amorim's Manchester United project, and recruitment's one of them. I mean, we've never had a manager who's actually been backed properly like Ruben Amorim is right now. And what I mean by backed properly isn't just, oh, okay, here's a blank checkbook, get whoever you want, let's chase bloody De Jong all summer long, Ten Hag. Let's chase Frankie De Jong all summer long, even though he's categorically said he does not want to join us. What that means is we've actually got people in recruitment who know what they're doing. Shout out Christopher Vivell. I mean, it's crazy. With Casemiro out, doesn't Kobbie start against Villa? Don't tell me Ugarte starts. It'll be interesting. We'll get on to a few comments that Ruben Amorim made about Kobbie in just a little while, but that is a big question, isn't it, Edwin? I'm scared to see who is along Bruno. Only one I'm still not too sure about is Šeško. Nah, Šeško, I'm like 80% certain that Šeško is going to be a success at United. I think I think that percentage would have probably been lower before seeing him play. Now that I've seen him in the Premier League, like, he's going to get better. He's going to get a lot better. What else do we have here? A source on Ineos trying to find a new manager to replace Erik Ten Hag. They were running around like headless chickens trying to find a new manager. It was a big mistake. They should have gone for Amorim then, but Dan Ashworth was against that one. And that explains why Dan Ashworth got the sack, doesn't it? Ruben Amorim does not see Kobbie Mainoo as a natural number 6 and has been reluctant to use him in a midfield 2, believing he is better suited to a midfield 3. Yep, we've gone over that. Compared to both Manchester clubs and Liverpool, Tottenham are seen as outsiders in the race to sign Antoine Semenyo in January. So basically, we've got 4 out of the 6, out of the traditional big 6 clubs, going for Antoine Semenyo. So far we know that Liverpool registered interest at around like November, but they've been quiet ever since. Tottenham are now just dipping their toes into the race, and it's between Manchester United and Manchester City, who are the two clubs that are properly going in for Semenyo. So Ugarte in the 11 confirmed then, if Kobbie isn't a 6. It's an interesting one, because obviously we know what's happened with Kobbie Mainoo and Kobbie Mainoo's brother wearing that shirt, which obviously Ruben Amorim was asked about in the presser. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I think naturally, if you're going off of performances, Kobbie should start. And Ruben Amorim has said in the presser that, I don't think Kobbie should be punished for what his brother does. I mean, it wasn't Kobbie wearing the t-shirt, it was his brother. Now, we all know, like, Kobbie Mainoo knew about that. Kobbie Mainoo was aware that his brother was wearing that t-shirt, and yeah, he's a big part of the reason why there's a lot of disrepute in Manchester United's fan base right now. And Ruben Amorim will know that as well. Ruben Amorim is not so naive to think, oh yeah, well, I mean, his brother wore that. It's not anything to do with him. I mean, it's not got anything to do with him. So Ruben Amorim could be saying one thing to the journalists and to the media and to us, and he could be thinking one thing behind closed doors. What will tell us what Ruben Amorim is thinking is if Kobbie Mainoo starts, because on form, Kobbie Mainoo should start. If Amorim believes what he says and he doesn't think that the shirt nonsense is Mainoo's fault, then he should start. But if Kobbie doesn't start, then that clearly shows that Amorim's like, yeah, you're gone, mate. You're gone. You knew about the t-shirt. I don't care if you've played well in the last appearance and Ugarte's been trash. I'd rather play someone who isn't causing up a fuss. You're gone, mate. So yeah, that's why it's so interesting to see who Amorim is going to start, because it will give away what he's actually thinking about Kobbie Mainoo. I mean, even look at this. Look at the body language between these two. Yoro and Mainoo walking to the training ground. Both heads down. Mainoo looks like he's about to cry. I'm not going to I can't get a zoom in on this, guys, but Mainoo genuinely looks like he's about to cry. Like, he does not look happy here. You know, I loved Cunha like 5 years as a player and love to see him at United so much right now. I mean, Cunha's a feel-good player. I mean, he's definitely a player who gets the club. He's definitely a player who will give you everything. I mean, but you kind of get that with Brazilians, don't you? I don't think you get any Brazilians who are just going to like half-arse it when they come to United. I think they all know the weight of the shirt. I mean, Anthony gave everything when he was at the club. I mean, I think Cunha gets it. The only thing now is, can he consistently get a run of games where he scores or picks up an assist? Because we need that now that Mbeumo's gone to AFCON. I mean, we need that from Cunha. But his performances have been really good. Hi, admin. Hello, Double I. How you doing, man? Cunha is amazing, best ever player this year, and will be the greatest United player ever. I mean, the home of honestly biased sports content right there. Thank you, Caleb, for your take. What other updates do we have for you lovely people? United are weighing up a move for Antoine Semenyo in January amid doubts over Patrick Dorgu. Semenyo is viewed as an ideal profile to play on the left. And also, we've got to think, guys, if we don't sign Semenyo, then that means that we're forced into playing Patrick Dorgu, who Amorim has publicly come out and said he can feel the anxiety every time he kicks the ball. Like, I mean, because Ahmad's gone, so that means that Deleu's going right wing back. And that means that we've got no one for left wing back other than maybe Luke Shaw. But Amarim's also kind of said he's reluctant to play Luke Shaw there because, you know, he actually would have to run then. And it's more likely that injury-prone Luke Shaw will return because the only reason he's not injury-prone right now is because at centre-back, like, the amount of ground you have to cover is little to nothing in comparison to left wing-back. So are we confident that we can get through AFCON with Patrick Dorgu as a left wing-back? I don't think we are. I don't think we are. So that's why we're even more desperate to bring in Semenyo. So you're saying this Mainoo benched equals 100% out, Mainoo starts equals question mark for future. I think Mainoo's out no matter what, but what I would say is if Mainoo is benched, then realistically I think he might be permanently sold in the summer if he's benched. If Mainoo starts, then it means, yeah, he's going to be loaned. He's going to be loaned nevertheless. But he could still potentially have a future at United. So it's basically loan or sale are the options right now. I think Mainoo benched means long-term sale. Mainoo starts long-term loan, and then we'll see where we are. Sources, we have got more news on Kobbie Mainoo, so please do stay tuned for that. And if you haven't already, folks, drop a like on the stream. Subscribe if you are new. We are going to be going live every single evening covering the latest and greatest Manchester United news. So what have we got here? Sources at United feel the club overexposed Patrick Dorgu after signing him as a squad player, with one insider claiming his tough first year at Old Trafford has ruined him. I don't think that we've overexposed him. I mean, it's not like he's been forced into playing every game. I think Amarim's been quite lenient with the games that Dorgu's played and not played. So to say that we've ruined him, I don't think that's the truth. I think Dorgu's ruined himself, if that's the case, if that's the mindset that he has. Semenyo and Neves on a 6-month loan with a possibility of an extra full season and an experienced Prem, preferably in his mid-30s, 33, 35 years old for me. That'll be my perfect January window. What do you mean, experienced Prem midfielder or striker, or who are you talking about there, Double I? I don't think we're going to get Semenyo on a loan, though. He's definitely being sold. Like he's going to get bought by City or United. He's not going on any loan. Manchester United are weighing up a move. Yep, because Semenyo will be a direct replacement for Dorgu, or not a replacement, but a direct signing for that left wing back position. Kobbie Mainoo's relationship with Manchester United is at breaking point. Mainoo sees no future under Amarim and would now consider a January loan if it included an option to leave permanently. I don't know why he can have the opinion that he doesn't see a long-term future under Amarim. Like, honestly, people are acting like he hasn't played for like a year, 2 years, and he's been waiting around the club. It's been 3 months. Like, when Amarim came in, Mainoo was injured. And then Mainoo came back from injury, and he got some opportunities in the side, playing as a cam, playing as a central midfielder. Didn't really impress. And then now the 3 months that he's played this season, he's not really impressed. Like, I mean, it's mind-blowing that the player can shift so quickly. Wow. But, I mean, yeah, I think, to be honest, I think after the T-shirt nonsense and after seeing, like, his besties with Garnacho and he did ask to go in the summer, by the way, guys. He has to go on loan in the summer. So I think Mainoo's just got in his head about the World Cup, not being a part of it, not being a part of the squad. And he's really got in his feelings, man. Dorgu came in as first choice rotation with Delo while Shaw was out and Malacia was injured. His playing time was certain. like Shart from Newcastle, centre backs admin. Are we going to be able to? I don't think we're going to be able to sign anyone from Newcastle. Definitely don't think we're going to be able to sign anyone from there. But I get what you mean, like an experienced centre back. Then surely we've got Maguire for that. But let's keep looking. Let's keep looking at the latest and greatest news. So Giggs is among the United legends that have come out and actually backed Ruben Amorim. So we've got Roy Keane and Ryan Giggs on backing Ruben Amorim's side. We've got Paul Scholes and I don't know who else. Paul Scholes, and you could argue, has Gary Neville been overly critical with Amorim? Maybe. But I think mainly just Paul Scholes, who's got a bee in his bonnet about Mainoo. This is what Ryan Giggs had to say. The problem we've had over the last 10 years is that the new manager arrives and makes changes because he's not satisfied with the players, and it's a vicious circle. He's gotten rid of the players he doesn't like, the Sanchos, the Antonys, the Rashfords, and he's recruited good players. He still needs a few more transfer windows. His results aren't very good, and I think he's aware of that, but I also think he knows where he wants to go. Sorry, round of applause for Ryan Giggs. Round of applause for actually highlighting that it is a vicious circle where we get rid of players who are toxic, and then the manager builds up his squad, and then boom, we get a couple of bad results, and then the fan base just lose their freaking minds. Only Maguire and Shaw, really. I still think Shaw's probably got to be sold eventually. Maybe if he's kept as a squad player. Because he can cover like left wing back if completely necessary and can share left centre back with Martinez, maybe. But I get what you mean. We need more experience in the squad, but at the same time, I feel like we need a more experienced striker. I feel like if we had a striker who was like 32, Premier League proven, happy to be a squad player, I think that would be a good signing for United. Would you extend Haroldinho's contract for a year? You know what? I don't think he's performed badly, Harry Maguire. However, the one negative I would say to signing him or giving him another year is his injury record. I feel like Harry Maguire, he's got quite a consistent injury record at Manchester United. I don't know what it is off the top of my head, but I swear, even in the Ole days, like he wouldn't survive a full season without getting an injury. His wages are pretty steep too. How much is Maguire on? Like 200k? 190k. Yeah, for a squad player, he'd obviously need, if we give him another contract, he'd obviously need to take a wage cut. Same situation with Casemiro, really, but I think Casemiro is just going to cash in and go over to America. I think his family would like that, so can see why he would do it. But with Maguire, I think Maguire would be happy to stay at the club. I'm not going to lie. I think Maguire sees that the club's on a rise. I think he can see that we're just improving. So I think Maguire would want to stay. But at the same time, I think he would have to take a pay cut to around like 100, maybe 120k a week, if we were being nice. Kobbie Mainoo feels he has been left with little choice but to seek a fresh start despite always intending to succeed at United. And he has continued to train well despite the lack of regular football. I don't think he has been left with little choice. I think he just puts his head down, gives the club what they're expecting, what you're bloody training for, what you're getting paid for, and then yeah, you'll get your loan, and then you'll get into the World Cup squad, and then you just come back and fight for your place at United. What you don't do is get your brother to wear a stupid t-shirt at matches. That's what you don't do. I'd rather keep Harry than Casemiro. He feels like a Tom Heaton for the younger gen. I get what you mean, but at the same time, it's the injury record for me. I think, like, can you imagine? Imagine we did have a Baleba right now, Edvin. Imagine we had a Baleba in the squad and he was starting with Bruno Fernandes doing all the defensive work. And then when it comes to, like, I don't know, the 70th minute and Baleba's tired, we bring on Casemiro to completely shut out games. Like, if we had Casemiro to shut out games instead of Ugarte, I think we would be like second in the league, if not first. But we've got Ugarte as our backup CDM, who's coming on to shut out games. And what do we get for it? We get a bunch of goals conceded. It's terrible. But I get what you mean. I can understand keeping Harry because Harry has been through a lot, so he is. Both of them are very important players. I mean, both of them show that, okay, you can go through a tough spell at United and still come back. So they both serve the same purpose. I'm happy with keeping either. If Marmoush pulls Tevez, I think he has the right profile, arguably in his prime, 26, 27 last season. He had an immediate impact on the squad. Pep is not playing him. The player is not happy, just saying. Could we do that? I mean, it feels like it's been years since a City player's gone to United or a United player's gone to City. What's up? What's up, Tez? Hope all's well. Isn't Casemiro on like 300k? How low would he drop to? This is what I'm saying. I mean, I'm saying Casemiro would probably drop to around like... It depends. It entirely depends. Because if Casemiro, who is only... How old is he? Like, professional football players are playing to like 40 these days. So if Casemiro believed in the project, loved Ruben Amorim, wanted to stay with the club, wanted to stay with the squad, wanted to be a part of this new wave of Manchester United who could potentially fight for a title in the next 3 years. If Casemiro wanted to stay a part of that project and sign like a 3-year contract at like, I don't know, 140k, 150k, he's not going to go down to as low as 120k because you got to face it, he's a 5-time Champions League winner. That does deserve a certain level of compensation. I'd say like Casemiro, 150k, squad player. He's won 5 Champions Leagues. That's so important for the squad. Like, you take him out, how many like top level trophies have the squad won? Like, nobody would have won anything. So it is important. I'd personally give Casemiro a contract for 150k for 3 years, stick him as a squad player, play him in the cups where like you play youngsters around him as well. And yeah, I think I 100% would keep Casemiro. However, the one point going against keeping Casemiro on like 150k is I personally think that the club, will they justify that spending? Maybe not. Personally, I would because of the experience. But also, I think Casemiro and his family just want to move to America. It depends how much of that competitive juice is still flowing through Casemiro's veins, because if he is hyped up by the project, I can see him wanting to stay on, but if he's not, then yeah, I think Casemiro will probably leave. Kobbie needs to be more patient. Bruno is probably leaving next season. He would definitely fill his place. I don't think Bruno's leaving next season. I don't think he is. Mids can't keep up past their late 30s in the Prem. Example, Modric suits for Serie A at his age since it's a slower league. Yeah, you make a good point, but then that's why I'm saying, like, in the cup games, as a squad player coming off the bench, I think Casemiro could still do a job. 150 is a bit low. I think 180, 185 is more proper. Come on, he is a proper legend, not like the Pratt in Birmingham. Who's for Pratt in Birmingham? Are we talking about... Is that Jude Bellingham? Who's for Pratt in Birmingham? You've thrown me. There's a lot of Pratts in Birmingham. But yeah. United have indicated they would listen to an exceptional January offer for Kobbie Mainoo, especially if they can sign a replacement better suited to Amorim's system. Then it would make sense for him to go. So basically, what they're saying here in this report is that if United received a decent offer for Mainoo, like permanent offer, around like 50, maybe 60 mil, they'd probably take it. So then we could sign Baleba in January. So United would take an offer of around 50, 60 mil if we could sign Baleba in January. Sancho. Okay, very good. Very good. I thought it was Sancho, but I was like, it's crazy to think Sancho's still signed with this club. Like, he's still a representative. Sir Alex Ferguson has come out with a few quotes on Ruben Amorim as well. So Sir Alex Ferguson asked if he's optimistic for a future at Manchester United under Ruben Amorim. Amorim is a good personality. It's not easy. I remember looking back on my own time there, starting off when Liverpool were the bee's knees. They were a fantastic club, winning the European Cup 4 times and all that, but then it took them 31 years to win the league again. We are now in the same situation. It could be 10 years, could be 11 years because of that cycle. It has to be thought out carefully, and we have to make sure the recruitment is going to be better than it was. So, yeah. Sir Alex Ferguson speaking sense. I wish... Why are all of his negative like fan pages on Twitter and all of his negative content creators not going to be reading out this quote from Sir Alex Ferguson? They'll pay special attention to the Paul Scholes quotes, but this is literally Sir Alex Ferguson saying that he's pretty much backing Ruben Amorim. So, you know, agree to disagree. Can't see the value in keeping 150, 200k 30-plus-year-old on the bench to impact certain handpick situations. It's not handpick situations. It's also like surely you see the value, Edwin, in like having somebody in this squad who has been at the top of football. Like Casemiro is a living football legend. Like having that type of player around the squad, surely you can see why, like, having someone like that. Because if he goes, then obviously we've got Bruno Fernandes, but Bruno Fernandes hasn't won a Premier League. He's not... Oh, I know Casemiro hasn't either, but you know what I mean? Like, he hasn't won a league title. He hasn't won 5 Champions Leagues. He hasn't done all of this stuff. So, like, surely you can see that some of that, like, just in conversations, just in leadership, just in all of these sorts of things, like, they play a big factor into like improving the culture of the club. The fact the club's willing to let Mainoo leave, but there's no sign of players like Shaw, Delot, etc. leaving our club is actually embarrassing. I reckon Delot could potentially leave next summer. I think that's a rogue option for a player who could leave. Personally, people know, if you've been following the channel for a while, I don't rate Delot. I've said that Luke Shaw should leave. I think both of them should leave. I can see a future for Shaw now. I still can't see a future for Delot, but, you know. The only thing of keeping Delot is I don't think he's on the highest wages. So potentially you could say, oh, well, as a squad player, he's not that bad. He's not that bad. To add to my comment, I'm struggling to see the so-called rebuild Ineos promised when they seem to be trying to keep hold of all the serial losers. I mean, they're not trying to keep hold of them, are they? But Casemiro has 4 Champions Leagues. I bet you Bruno leaves before Delot. But then this is the thing. Like, you can say, oh, okay, Bruno leaving before Delot, but is that because Ineos want to get rid of him, or is it because of the fact that, like, Fernandes actually has value? I mean, it's easier to sell a Bruno than it is to sell a Delot. Sir Alex Ferguson as well, speaking on Larmans. I think the signing of the goalkeeper made the difference. He is young. He is imposing. He has good feet and good hands. I think they needed a player like that. Yep. Amen. Big up Larms. Kobbie Mainoo is now considering a permanent exit from Manchester United. His relationship with the club is now at breaking point. I mean... All it takes is like putting him on the bench for 3 months and he's saying that he wants to leave the club permanently. Like, he's not... I'm sorry, like, it's entitlement. it's believing their own hype. It's all of this sort of stuff, which fair enough. Elite players do have to believe their own hype, but if you're putting yourself before the club, then you know where the door is. Ruben Amorim says he hasn't spoken to Kobbie Mainoo about his brother's t-shirt stunt, and it won't affect whether he starts or is benched at Villa. Amorim on Mainoo's brother's t-shirt. It was not Kobbie wearing the t-shirt. I'm not going to do something to Kobbie because someone in his family is doing something. And that's a very fair approach. I mean, we all know, like, if we've all got common sense here, we all know that, like, Kobbie Mainoo knew that his brother was doing this, but Amorim's choosing to what's the phrase? Like, turn a blind eye, something like that. So, yeah. Amorim's taking the high road. Ruben Amorim on Harry Mass and Chido Obi's posts. I think the feeling a little bit of entitled one we have in our club. Sometimes strong words are not bad words. Difficult moments are not bad for the kids. So it's interesting. He is saying that, like, the players are entitled. And again, we need to eradicate this from our club, guys. We need to get this gone. I digress. You're right in saying that we need winners in our squad, and Bruno isn't that. I'm just conflicted as to what Casemiro would bring us in the future and for how many years. I'm saying he can be at least a bench player for like 2-3 years. And then, I don't know, say we bring in Baleba, he gets injured. We know Casemiro can come in and perform decently in the Premier League. Like, our problem right now, guys, isn't necessarily the midfield. Our problem right now is the defense. Like, how we're conceding so many easy goals. Like, it's not like Casemiro's just falling and clutching his hip or anything like that. It's Casemiro's been good this season. He's genuinely been good. It's up to the defenders now. Well, Shaw, for example, who's one of the biggest losers at the club, Amorim called him world class. And in all the years Shaw's been at the club, never seen any reports of us trying to offload him. Yeah, that's true. But I think, I don't know, it's a hard one as well, because Shaw, it's in a position where, like, he's so injury prone, and I don't think there's that long left on his contract, that is it worth more to keep him than it is to sell him? Like, you've got to do that cost-benefit analysis of, is it worth more to keep him and sell him at this point? And I think that's the case at the moment. And Amorim could be just trying to pump up his value to try and sell him. Like, imagine Amorim comes out and says, oh yeah, Luke Shaw's shit. Like, he's really bad. Oh, he's been at the club for so long. He epitomizes what's wrong with this club right now. Like, what club is going to come in and buy Luke Shaw if he's honest about him? If Amorim's honest about him? It's more about his age factor and how much revenue he'll bring for his age is nuts. We were talking about 85 to 100 mil for a 32-year-old. Yeah, but then again, you look at the value of Bruno Fernandes and how much he can bring in, but then you have to look at the output that he's been providing us, and he's still providing us. Like, it's not like, oh, we're selling a 32-year-old dud who's, like, doing absolutely nothing for us. Bruno Fernandes, even on his worst days, gives, like, a 6.7, 7 out of 10 performance. Like, he's that guy, man. He's that guy. What I find crazy as well is Amorim mentioned about entitlement around the youth players, but our captain made some big entitled comments in his interview with Ria. Go on, Johnny. What entitled comments did Bruno Fernandes make? And please do not compare the youth to Bruno Fernandes. The youth are unproven talents, and Bruno Fernandes is a player who has spent his prime years at Manchester United, like, carrying us. He's probably one of the only reasons we didn't get relegated last season. I mean, come on, Johnny. Don't try and compare the youth players to Bruno Fernandes. Sweet Jesus. Endrick to United? Nah, I don't think Endrick's going to come. I don't know. It just crossed my mind. There were rumours of him coming, but I doubt it. I think it's purely based around selling Zerk or loaning him with an obligation to buy. And then using that money for Semenyo. I think it's purely down to that at this stage. What else do we have? That's just a pretty generic quote. Just Ruben Amorim giving Emery his flowers. Ruben Ruben Amorim on the game against Bournemouth. We watch the game again against Bournemouth. We can avoid those goals. We have to put everything on the line when we're defending, and sometimes we're not doing that. Yep. The defending was very passive against Bournemouth. Mainly from the youngster Aiden Heaven. I mean, he can still grow and learn though. Folks, by the way, if you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. We are going to be doing these news live streams every single evening from around like 7, 8, 9 UK time. So yeah, please subscribe if you are new. Get involved in the chat. Hot take, Bruno would get into any team in the world, plus national team on his day, especially in a big game. Yep. I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's common sense, Edvin. But some people have such warped delusions on Bruno Fernandes that they don't see that as common sense. Just look at his stats for Portugal. Insane. We don't even have to. Like, the only people who are against Bruno Fernandes, like, are genuinely like, that you can't, if you're a fan of Stranger Things, they're mouth breathers, mate. They're mouth breathers. Again, this is just Ruben Amorim talking about a Mass and Cheetos deleted posts on Instagram. So they feel entitlement, and then they have legends of the club saying, if you don't play, then leave. He's talking about Nicky Butt and Paul Scholes there. No, let's stay and fight and overcome. We have to fight against this feeling. Oh, Ruben Amorim. Round of applause for Ruben Amorim there. I mean, it's so interesting. It's so interesting seeing these quotes and everything, and seeing the war of words, if you will, between Paul Scholes and Ruben Amorim, because, like, Ruben Amorim is saying that because the players feel entitled naturally, and then they've got legends of the club backing them up in these entitled, like, feelings, and not just legends of the club, they've got fans of the club backing them up and being all like, Mainoo FC this, Mainoo FC that. And, like, he's saying not that, oh, okay, they just have to stick around and, like, they're not going to be doing anything. Like, he's telling them, you have to stay here, fight for the club, fight for your place, overcome the adversity, and then you are a Manchester United player, which is so interesting, because you've got the likes of Roy Keane, who's saying the exact same thing as Amorim here. He's saying, like, you're 20 years old, Mainoo, you've been benched, stay here and fight. Like, if you remember, guys, it's not just now that Kobbie Mainoo's been putting in this loan move. Like, Kobbie Mainoo wanted to put in a loan move ever since the summer. So Amorim told him in the summer, you will be a squad player, you will get your opportunities, you have to show what you can do, and then you will get this many games. Okay. And then even after that conversation, Mainoo put in a loan move. Like, he was told to work for his position, and he put a loan move in. He's 20 years old. He's 20 years old. I mean, I personally side with Amorim. I personally side with Roy Keane. I personally side with Ryan Giggs. I just think that Scholes is obsessed with Mainoo, and he's dying on this hill. I mean, and he's justifying entitled young players speaking up against the manager, which just isn't right, because they know for a fact that wouldn't have happened back in their day. That wouldn't have happened. They were talking about Bruno's playstyle, and Bruno essentially said that he does all that risk stuff to try and get the goals and assists, and he can't and won't change any of that. Johnny, Bruno literally said, like, I do that to get goals and assists and create opportunities for Cunha, for Xerxes, for everyone. Like, to get assists, you have to actually risk things. Like, you can't just pass it sideways to get an assist. Like, come on. To me, at least, I don't think any players should say that ever. What? He should be leading by example. He could have said, that he's always trying to improve on his weaknesses, but he didn't. It's not a weakness. It's his greatest strength. It's his greatest strength, Johnny. Look at his goals and assist. Oh, God. The anti-Bruno comments are crazy to me. The Bruno haters are snowflakes that even have Odegaard in the same dimension as a master creator. Facts. Since 2020, bar none. Not even De Bruyne. Yep. Amen, Edvin. Scholes, when Ole was at the club, he was really quiet. I don't know. I don't know what to make of Scholes, to be honest. I think, honestly, it's a case of he needs to take a stance that is going to get him spoken about. Because he's not going to make it in management. He doesn't really analyze the games that much. Like, have you ever seen a Paul Scholes comment where you're like, he has broken that game down so well? No, you haven't. And it's interesting. It's just interesting how certain legends act, because Paul Scholes, as we know, he was just naturally gifted. Like, he is pretty much the, I don't know, he's the Lionel Messi of midfielders, Paul Scholes. Like, he's just naturally gifted. He had asthma. He had all of these, like, negative things. He wasn't, like, I don't know. He wasn't, what's the words? He wasn't, like, running the extra yards. He wasn't doing anything like this. He was just he's just a naturally gifted, high football IQ type of player. And sometimes I think that comes across where, like, he looks at Mainoo and he sees, like, oh, okay, Mainoo's naturally gifted. He sees himself in Mainoo, and that's why he's backing him so much. And he's like, oh, okay, well, if Amarim was in the club, I wouldn't have got a chance either, and da-da-da-da. But the problem is, modern football is completely different to football back then. When you were individually talented, you could still, like, flourish and everything like that. The modern game is all about systems. It's all about players who are going to put everything on the line. It's all about players who are going to put the team before themselves. That is how you win in modern football. There's a lack of modern stars for a reason. Like, how many modern stars can you think of? You think of Bellingham, you think of Mbappe, you think of Haaland, you think of Yamal. Whereas back in the day, every team had an individual star. Like, every big team had an individual star. Now it's just not as much. On Kobbie as well, Amarim literally said 2 to 3 weeks ago that Mainoo was training good and deserves to start, then proceeded to not start him in any games. What else can Kobbie really do? Yeah, because Amarim wants to start him, but the problem is we lost to bloody Grimsby in the cup. I don't know, is it the Carabao Cup anymore? I don't know. But, like, we lost to Grimsby, which was a game that Kobbie Mainoo was in, by the way, and him and Ugarte fell over each other, which led to Grimsby scoring their first goal against us. Rewatch it. But, like, that's the problem. I mean, we don't have games. We don't have games to give Kobbie. He deserves to start, but we don't have the games to give him. And if Amarim is going to risk, like, more fans saying, oh, he's not the right man for United, he never changes his system, blah, 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 and play Fernandes and Kobbie in a midfield, which is suicide, by the way. It's actually suicide. You play them in a midfield, which we've seen a couple of times already. I don't think we've won any of the games where they've played in midfield together. Someone can fact check me on that, but I'm pretty sure we haven't won any of the games where they've played together. So why would we do that? Why would Amarim do that? Why would he just play Kobbie for the sake of playing Kobbie to then just continue losing games and more pressure to build up on him? It makes no sense. But his biggest weaknesses is his ball carrying and keeping possession. That's what I'm referencing. I don't think his biggest weakness is keeping possession. Let's have a look. Just for you, Johnny, I'll have a look. Let me see. Bruno Fernandes when it comes to possession. I'm trying to find. I mean, he's in the top 94.9% of players for successful passes. He's had an average pass rate of 83.4% in the league so far this season, which is low, but when you bear in mind that in Amorim's system, he is literally banking on, there being one midfielder who is going to create more, and then another midfielder who's going to be more defensive. That's still not, like, ridiculously low. Like, it's not Bruno hating as well, because I've said loads I want Bruno as one of the 10s. Again, there's stuff in that midfield role Bruno can't do, which he should say he's trying to improve on. I just don't think that's true, because if you look at all of our last few games, Bruno's got man of the match for pretty much our last 3 matches. I don't know, I don't agree with that. Scholes has been in the limelight for his punditry for a while, which hasn't helped his legacy. Lampard and Gerrard have gone into managerial roles. Separate the player from the pundit/manager. Yep, true. If we are going to use the Grimsby game as a basis, then no player at United should be allowed to play again, really. No, not true. Certain players made mistakes in that game. And I'm not going to lie, I think Mainoo was one of the good players in that game. But you can't look past the fact that him and Ugarte messed up in the midfield, which led to us conceding our first goal against Grimsby. Hargreaves and especially Carrick ran for Scholes. Yep. I've always said I want Amorim to switch to a 3-man midfield so both Mainoo and Bruno can play. I don't know, maybe he will in the future, maybe he will. But at the same time, maybe it's just this season he's going to play like a 3-4-3 and then switch it up sometimes. But at the same time, I think the entitlement is strong for Mainoo. Let's just cover these last few stories and then we'll call it an evening, lads. So, Ruben Amorim on Kobbie Mainoo. He will play if we feel he's the right guy, which is what Amorim said in every single press conference this season. Ruben Amorim on Bruno Fernandes' interview. The difference is he spoke with the club before the interview and said what he was feeling. We can avoid these feelings. We can avoid these things because we know the noise. He talked with the board and I think everything is clear. So basically the club knew that he was going to say stuff like that in the interview. Ruben Amorim on Bruno Fernandes' interview. We just read that out. Let's see if there's any more details in here. The difference is he spoke with the club before the interview and said what he was feeling. We can avoid these things because we know the noise. He talked with the board and I think everything is clear. I don't know if it's fair. He spoke about his feelings. He needs to answer to that, not me. So he needs to answer that question, not me. He is an example. He gives everything and puts everything on the line. In that, he is special. We need to step up to have that feeling. We need to ask him. He's a big example to the group. He spoke his feelings. I think when I watch Bruno training and playing, he's a special character. The numbers and amount of games prove he is a different player. Amen. So Alex Ferguson on his secret when rebuilding football teams. I think my appetite was for young people and players. When I went to St. Mirren, they had no money. The best thing I could do was sit at the coaching schools on Tuesdays and Thursdays with the young players. And then 5 ended up becoming internationals. Then I went to Aberdeen and continued that ethic. We won the European Cup without our own training ground. And 8 players were produced by the club. It was fantastic. When I went to United, Bobby Charlton was in the meeting and I said, I don't know why you have appointed me unless you give me the reign to produce young players. Bobby said, that's done. You've got the job. Bobby Charlton was a fantastic man. So yeah, obviously, Sir Alex touching on the fact of how like bringing youth players through was such a big part of his career and his time at United. Obviously, football has moved on and is a bit different now, but at the same time, I don't think Amorim hates youth players. I mean, speak to anyone who knows about Amorim's time at Sporting Lisbon. He played a lot of youth players, guys. Antoine Semenyo's 65 million release clause can be activated in January up until the 10th. So it will have to be quick if United are looking to get him. We as a club forget sometimes who we are. It's the environment. The kids feel entitled and free to respond to the manager with a picture. My office is open, but nobody is coming to me. That is the way we can solve things. We need to change as a club. Okay. Manchester United are now seen as the front runners for Antoine Semenyo in January. Manchester United, Man City, Tottenham and Liverpool have all spoken to Semenyo about personal terms and their plans for him. Antoine Semenyo is expected to leave Bournemouth. A January move for Semenyo is expected to happen. United are in the race and would play him in different positions. Amorim's current system or eventually can change the system. United and City are both involved in the conversation for Semenyo, as per Fabrizio Romano. So it is literally Semenyo's choice. Is he going to choose United? Is he going to choose City? We'll have to wait and see. Kobbie Mainoo has a strong desire to join Napoli, preferring them over 10 to 12 other clubs, with his family also backing the move. Napoli are pushing and making progress on the player side. It's now up to Manchester United. Where are we? If I see Ugarte against Villa, though, lol, I can't remember the specific number, but I remember seeing goals conceded stat to do with Ugarte. Yeah, I agree. Kobbie Mainoo should start against Villa, but it depends how hard Ruben Amorim's taken that free Kobbie t-shirt. But we'll see. We'll see. I will say, though, admin, away from the whole Amorim stuff, are you worried for the future of the club with the way Ineos talk about the academy as assets they can make money off compared to players? No, I'm not worried about it. I think it's a case of if the players are good enough, they will stay at Manchester United. But then that's the whole thing. Like, Fergie's obviously let loads of talented players go because they don't suit the work ethic, they don't suit the squad, they don't suit the formation, loads of stuff. So, like, I mean, it's one of those. It's one of those. I don't think it's crazy for Amorim to do that now. I mean, just look at Pogba. Hello, boys. What glad to see some good faces after the hell day today. Hell day? What's been going on, Mr. Nick the Dutch Destroyer? You've come just towards the end of the stream, but hope you had a good day, man. And shout out to Nick Dutch. I messed that up. Shout out to Nick the Dutch Destroyer. Member in the chat. What else do we have here? And guys, Manchester United could facilitate a move for Antoine Semenyo by offloading Joshua Zirkzee either through a permanent sale or a loan with an obligation to buy. A meeting took place with AS Roma in London last week. I mean, I called this about a couple weeks ago saying that Zirk was going to go and Semenyo was going to come. Let's see if it comes true. And this is some good news as well. Galatasaray have held talks with Manuel Ugarte's representatives and Manchester United. So, Ugarte out the door? Hopefully. See the pic in the Horseman app. Let me have a look at the Horseman app. The Horseman app is a little cult within Old Trafford, a splinter group, so to speak. There's a photo here. Oh my god. That happened at your school, Nick? Man, I hope you're alright, man. Guys, so I'm not going to give too much information away, but at a school in Amsterdam, 6 people were arrested and there were stabbings involved. I'll have to read that after the stream, but Jesus. If we get Semenyo, fair enough, but I'd be confused why he would have chosen to join to play wing-back role. I mean, why not? I mean, the reports have also said that in the future, Amorim could change the system, so Semenyo might be thinking, oh, okay, I'll play wing-back, see how it is, and then in the future, maybe I'll play in a different position. United are monitoring Ruben Neves and Conor Gallagher as potential January signings. Manchester United are monitoring Ruben Neves and Conor Gallagher as potential January signings. So same thing. So I think ideal transfer window, we sell Ugarte to Galatasaray. Xerxes goes to Roma on loan. Xerxes goes on... Wait, what did I just say? Okay, Kobbie Mainoo loan to Napoli. Xerxes loan with obligation to buy to Roma. Semenyo we bring in, and Ugarte goes out to Turkey, and we bring in Ruben Neves and Conor Gallagher. So people coming in: Neves, Gallagher, Semenyo, 3 Premier League proven players. Players going out: Xerxes, Ugarte, and Mainoo. I'm all right. Just an impactful day, let's say it. Jesus Christ, man, that is an impactful day. Have you, did you have to speak to police, or? This Neves stuff as well is kind of crazy. People say Mainoo doesn't have legs, but Neves has even less legs. Yeah, but if he's just coming on a loan or something like that, then it's not the end of the world. And he is Premier League proven. But it was at my school, and I did need to do first aid to stop the bleeding of it. No, you didn't, Nick. Did you actually? Jesus Christ, man. Okay, sorry. Nick Nick deserves another round of applause. Jesus Christ, man. You didn't have to do that, surely. Yeah, I needed to help with the investigation because I was third on scene and needed to put pressure. Oh my God. What the absolute... I'm in shock, man, but you had to do that. Jesus Christ. Lads, there was a stabbing at the school where our very own Nick the Dutch Destroyer works at, and he had to put pressure on the bleeding of a victim at his school. Like, oh my God. Lovely stuff. I mean, fair play to you, Nick, man. Fair play to you. I mean, surely you deserve a raise after that. I mean, oh my God, that's terrible. Oh, it's weird to go back to football stuff after that. What do you think our midfield will be next season? Because right now, to me, it seems like all 4 of our midfielders will be gone. Now, I think Bruno will be there. I think Baleba will be signed. I think it will be Bruno and Baleba, if I'm being honest. Can't say too much here because YouTube keeps censoring it. Do football. We'll talk in Horse Minute about it if you want. Yeah, man. I'm ending the stream anyway now because we have been live for like an hour and a half. But I'll drop a message in the Horseman. Gentlemen, thank you for tuning into the stream. It's been a wild one tonight. I mean, at the end of the day, I do think that Kobbie Mainoo should be on his way out on loan. I mean, I literally made a video months ago saying this is why Manchester United should loan Kobbie Mainoo, and it was because of all of these reasons. Like, I knew it was going to turn toxic eventually with him and the club. So yeah, I think it was delaying the inevitable by thinking that we could just keep him as a squad player, and hopefully he grows out on loan, and yeah, he comes back or he increases his value and we end up selling him. Either way, Manchester United over players, Manchester United over Kobbie Mainoo. You think Bruno will stay? I think the Bruno interviews seem like the kind of ones you do when you're about to leave. If you look at the actual, like, if you've watched the interview, Johnny, because some quotes will make you think, oh, okay, he's got a foot in the door, he wants to leave, or foot out the door. But no, a lot of the quotes that were being posted on Twitter and stuff like that weren't true. Like, if you look at the full context of his quotes, if you look at the full context of his quotes, Bruno was pretty much saying, like, I want to stay at United for as long as the fans and the management want me. So he definitely wants to stay at United. Let's win against Villa and have a good Christmas. Indeed. Hope you guys are having a good Christmas, by the way. Hope everyone's having a good Christmas. It's crazy. I've literally been absorbed by shorts and live streams and videos, but like, it's I need to remember that it's actually Christmas. I want Bruno to win anything great with Manchester United. Yep, same. Champions League or Prem Trophy. He needs at least one of them. I think he deserves it. I think he's been through so much shiz, not just individually, but like, you know, just with like fans and all of this. So I hope he does anyway. But folks, hope you all have a delightful evening. Hope you enjoy watching Jake Paul get knocked the F out by Anthony Joshua. And special shout out to the members. Special shout out to Mr. Kiefer Bix. Special shout out to Mr. Ethan Johnson. Special shout out to Nick, the Dutch Destroyer. And finally, special shout out to Mr. Matty Scott. But for now, Godspeed.